The first time that I heard about human trafficking, it was while watching a documentary. I was really in denial.
The prostitution bust at the top of the year in January really sparked my interest. We know it happens, but it's so, it's not really on base.
And I couldn't believe this was happening. The more she spoke, the more I learned that this was actually happening in my state and also in my city.
I began to look into the issue more, and the more I did, I realized that Ohio is a huge hub, with Toledo being the third largest city in the nation for human trafficking. We're putting on a fashion show to bring awareness to human trafficking using the power of the arts, which is music, dancing, poetry, and of course fashion. But I also wanted to engage the crowd on another level, so I reached out to my good friend over at OSU. He's a dance choreographer and a teacher there.
My name is Keelan Arnold. I am a second-year graduate student at the OSU Dance Department, and I had the pleasure to choreograph for the Unchained fashion show. When he brought up the fact of bringing different arts together, I was all for it. I'm a hip-hop dancer, so I'm all about bringing different arts and cultures together for one cause.
And so we fused myself doing poetry, the fashion piece, the dancing and music to put together a show that will empower people, engage people on the issue, and bring light to that issue right here in Ohio.
I've had the pleasure to work with 3 undergraduate minors in the dance department. Their names are Heather, Nia, and Monet. We rehearse probably around 2 hours a week for about a month in preparation for the show, and they're really excited to be a part of the collaboration for Unchained Fashion Show.
A proceed of the profit that comes in through our shows we use and set aside for the education and empowerment of survivors. Our heart is to ignite abolitionists within the community to then take what's in their hands to eradicate modern-day slavery. Our thread in the piece of fabric of the abolitionist movement is prevention, awareness, and restoration. We prevent human trafficking by going into schools and using students to tell the story of a human trafficking survivor and empowering them if they hear of this atrocity going on in their communities or their schools. We teach them how to report this crime.
Realizing that the average age for a child being brought into human trafficking is 13. And as a youth director, that really broke my heart. So I really wanted to find out, how can I get involved? And I partnered with Unchained Fashion Show. They are a unique organization who uses fashion to tell the story of a human trafficking survivor.
The garments each tell a portion of her story. Innocence are very natural and airy, feminine and light and playful. Innocence is when she is born of so much worth and so much dignity as each child is. Which then, at a very young age, she is robbed because of sexual abuse, and that makes her vulnerable. Then someone sees that she's vulnerable and preys on her vulnerability when she is trapped and stuck into human trafficking. This is marked by dark garments covering up the mouth, hands are tied, but then is restoration. You have in your hands the ability to bring far greater awareness than just we can by ourselves. By partnering with us, you can bring Unchained to communities, universities, and high schools and conferences so that we can tell the story of restoration, so that all can engage in this issue but also be empowered to do something about this. We know greatly about the violation that has happened, but we also celebrate the restoration that is coming today while we are here.
You are not